Welcome to Get Chatty about your local business again. And today I have my friend Veronica with me. And hi Veronica, how are you?
Hi Arthur, I'm really well, thank you. How have you been?
Not too bad, not too bad. Do you mind introducing yourself a little bit to our audiences?
Certainly, my name's Veronica. I'm establishing myself as a professional proofreader with Stephen Miller Proofreading. Nice, simple. And I'm going to be looking at mostly proofreading fiction for indie authors, but I also want to do things such as pamphlets for small businesses to help with them. And I'm also looking at doing website proofreading.
So how did you meet Arthur, the Chatty curator?
I met Arthur through a Zoom networking event. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. If you don't mind, would you like to share some of the writing or communication tips for small businesses or even young people or just anyone, whatever it is?
Oh, certainly. I think one thing it's important that things like programs like Grammarly, the different services are really helpful. It's really good to put your work through, whether that's an assignment for school or a business letter or a book. But you need to remember, like you said before, it's a computer program and you don't necessarily have to put all the changes in because we need to make decisions. You know, it can change the context. It could be, you might be wanting to make a point and put in poor grammar because that's what the character's speaking. So use them as tools, but remember they're tools and that you're in charge.
That's fantastic. I think it is because I work with the multicultural and migrant community as well. So I think sometimes that they're a little bit too much relying on machines or dictionaries, and sometimes that the tools actually took over and it actually worked against them. So there's one time that I was looking over, I just have a look at my friend's resume that I can see that he really wanted to communicate the idea, but by wanting to explain that he over-explained himself. So there's like a huge paragraph talking about what he's done. I was like, let's edit that. Yes. So, I mean.
Yeah, following on from that, Arthur, that's also why it's important to have someone else read your work because we don't see our own errors. I know when I write something, I will often, even just a Facebook post, I'll get a response and I'll see, oh, that was a typo. I'll go and edit it and fix it. So that's why we have editors and proofreaders, so they can go over your work because it's very difficult to be objective yourself. So it's worth paying the services of a proofreader or an editor to help you make your work the best it can be. And another reason is because, like you said, with your friend was over-explaining with his resume. I find that a lot of time people, even on the TV, journalists and such, are interviewing someone, or if you're reading, and people try to use big words or archaic words to sound more intelligent, and it backfires because it's not something they're familiar with. They'll use it in the wrong context and it will sound awkward and it makes them look silly rather than what they're going for. So I think it's very important to use language you're familiar with because it's best to be concise and it's best to use clear language than to try to be fancy and make it look good.
Also, they want to see if your personality fit with the team. So if you're putting a mask, using words just because the way, for the sake of using words, then it's actually going to work against you, I mean, in my opinion. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you, Arthur. So that's it. So I think just basically whether you're a small business, whether you're a student and writing a big paper, whatever, if you're an author, just remember being yourself is very important. Use the words you're familiar with. And it is worth using a proofreader to go over things because it's very difficult to be objective when you're reading something you've already written.
Or how to find you if they
interested. Well, my surname is very distinctive, Stephen Miller with a hyphen. I'm on Veronica Stephen Miller at LinkedIn. I also have a profile at Facebook I set up specifically for the proofreading. There's not much activity from me at the moment. I'm in a moving house soon. But once I get settled, to start posting different things there as well. So they're the best way to find me at the moment is through social media.
Thank you so much for taking part in this interview. Wish you the best of luck. And of course, please let me know that when your business is launching and your website and things like that, I would love to keep sharing that to the community.
Definitely, Arthur. Thank you. Thank you for having me today. It was lovely.